And a lengthy putt now for a par. Just over 6 feet for couples. It's interesting, Johnny, we were talking about it a little bit earlier today. I'm amazed when Couples makes his practice strokes. He's got a big flowing motion. But then, of course, we know his real stroke is much shorter. And I know you putted that way. You had a shorter stroke. Yeah. Was your practice stroke longer as well, or?
Well, you're trying to stretch those muscles out, and you don't want to because you're so afraid of, you know, maybe making a mistake if you take it back too far. But Couples has made the fewest amount of bogeys than anybody this week, but it's a lonely time right now. That's dead into the grain. He's got to hit it.
Yeah, that was pulled. Yeah.
Well, the actual stroke is just so different than the practice stroke. The transition is so much quicker.
That's a lonely time right now in your head, huh, Gary?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's try to take another look at this. It's very short, and then you can just see he's almost trying to chase the putter head after the ball. It just.
But you hear it on the toe also.
Yeah, it's hard to get it seems to me, Johnny, it's hard to get a lot of acceleration when your transition's that quick. It just.
Well, he's been making them, you know.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, I have to say that for him. He's putted real well, but right now he wants it so bad he can taste it, and that doesn't always equate to great performance.
As we look at Fred at 17.
Well, the ideal shot shape, Johnny, is a nice hard draw. Take it down at that right bunker and turn it left. The only problem is today the wind's coming across from the left at about 30 miles an hour, so yeah, hard to get it to draw.
You better hope that he traps this thing and doesn't hit a cut. If he tries to hit a draw and hits his normal cut, it could be in the right trees. It's aiming well left.
He's trying to take it across the bunker on the left-hand side.
He's got the firepower.
Yeah, that's good there. It was just barely carried.
Wow. Okay. It's all right. We're at 17 and looking at the predicament that Fred Couples faces, and Roger, the stance appears to be very awkward.
Well, it is, because it's an uphill stance. In other words, the left foot much higher than the right, but the ball itself is not on that same plane, if that makes sense. If this tee shot had carried another yard, he'd be 40 yards further down the fairway. So really kind of an unfortunate bounce here. 204 left to the hole.
Do it, boom, boom.
This ball moving out right.
Ready?
Takes a wicked kick to the right.
His body language, Gary, has been for the last 4 or 5 holes is like not solid. I mean, it's not like a Gary Player, I can tell you that. It's like I've already lost.
Tell you, this has been a physical test. I mean,
it's
Freddie's 49 and a guy that's had, you know, a fragile back for years.
I think he makes decent contact with the ball. It's just, you know, he's trying to turn it back to the left to hold it into that wind, and just never got the ball started on the right line.
And over to Couples at 17, who just seems to have lost a little bit of his mojo. But as Freddie pointed out earlier in the week, Gary, I mean, they cheer him whatever he's doing.
Well, of course, having gone to school here at Houston, and as he said, he still roots for the University of Houston. Well, I think the people just enjoy watching him. He seems to go about it so easily, and at times does make the game look very easy. And of course, you know, he's still in a position here. If he can get this up and down on par 18, he's going to get into the clubhouse with the same score that J.B. Holmes has.
Easier said than done.
Well, it is, but
especially 18.
Sure.
Wow.
Well, he's #1 in scrambling, Gary, this week. 11 out of 13 up and ins, and he's back into the wind here, even though he's short-sighted himself.
And 7 of 9 in sand saves for the week.
Well, that's the saving grace here, Johnny, as he's back into the wind, and a strong wind at that. So that in his favor, and a good lie.
Gotta be careful not to leave it short, though. Leave it in the bunker, trying to get cute. Or leave it in that bank.
Sand blowing right back in his face. Roger talked about how strong the wind was. Watch this. Ooh, close your eyes, Freddie.
And mouth. You don't want to be Michael Jordan there.
And Freddie Couples, crucial putt for par.
And a putt that should move a little bit to his right, but with that wind coming across, the question is just how much, if at all.
You see there on the scoreboard from just inside of 12 feet.
It's got to be a little disconcerting just putting into your own bigger than life picture.
Yeah, there's a little grain to the right, Gary.
Now, most of the guys have missed this left, though, Johnny. It doesn't move much. I think Rogers got it called. The wind holds it up.
The wind, I'll promise you, the wind moved that ball left.
That's a good stroke there. That was a better stroke. Best stroke he's made in the back nine.
Take another look. Good stroke. Yeah, he starts the ball pretty much right straight at the hole.
Maybe right edge.
Yeah, and the wind just blows it offline. Now, Freddie Couples now will be forced to birdie the 18th if he's going to catch J.B. Holmes in the clubhouse.
So now Couples, who we know has good distance, but this is asking a lot to birdie a hole this tough.
Well, it's nice to see a couple of good tee shots before you, though, isn't it, John?
Yeah.
Supposed to watching two shrimps into the water or way to the right or something.
I'm not sure what I'd tell him to do if I was Joe LaCava, his caddy, because he has a tendency to cut the ball. And do you aim it at the left edge of that fairway, just right of the water, and peel it off, or do you try to play a draw, or do you end up in the right bunker, which is probably where he'll end up? See if he can pull this off, though.
This is going to the right.
Yeah, that was sort of predictable. It's not a good hole for Freddie. It doesn't set up well for his shot shape, and then the pressure, under pressure, guys leave it right, putting and hitting.
So Couples, who got his first win at the old Kemper Open at Congressional back in 1983, that was nearly 26 years ago. Only two players have produced a longer span between their first and last tour wins. Raymond Floyd and Sam Snead, both 28 years, but Fred faced with an uphill battle to try and join.
I hate to say it, but Fred's in that bunker where Tommy Armour was, and took him a couple. He didn't even get it out in 2 tries, and he's into the wind, which means you wanted to hit it low, and you can't do it because there's a high lip in front of you. This is the spot that Tommy Armour made the 8 from, after he hit it in the water, though.
Well, the problem is, Johnny, he's got to get it so high so quickly that into this wind, it's just,
Yeah, that's it. Just
it's just
doesn't
not going
match.
to get there. Yeah, well, not going to get there.
You just got to be careful. You got to make sure you get it out and play it as a 5-par.
I tell you, it just makes it so much tougher.
That ball went to the right. It looked like when it came off the club, and it's in the right rough, and he's probably got close to 100 yards left to the green.
There it is right there.
Good shot. That was actually a very good shot and a great angle to the back to that back left hole location.
So he's going to have to hold that out.
This just takes a really good strike here to hit that ball that flush. You see that lead. He's choked down, what, 4 inches down, and then a huge lead of the handle, which allows you to get on the ball before you hit it fat.
This has been a hang on to your hat type of day, and no one knows that more than Fred Couples, as he was coming up 18 just a little while ago, and now basically has to hold this out to catch Holmes in the clubhouse at 11 under.
Well, if you knock this close, it's either got to be a big accident or you got to be the bravest guy in America, Raj.
Yeah, that's about 92 yards left now.
I mean, you can't get a tougher shot than this, because anything left of the hole, which is about 12 feet, it'll go down the hill and into the water, and it's into the wind and to the right. But it's
Well, he's knocked it down. Good looking shot.
Trying to check it up.
okay. Another foot and it had gone in the water.
So there he is.
Little shot selection.